but I think we're getting there now. So we will just start the process. I'll introduce everything, go through the market update, bits and pieces, and then if anybody has any questions at the end, by all means, please put them in the question answering, and I will run through them at the end, and we can go through anything that you have at the moment. So, just a quick introduction. CPC's Utilities Supply and Services Framework is approved by the DfE. Gas, electricity, water contracts can be procured through the framework across 3 lots. Following a public contracts regulation 2015 compliant tendering process, Dukefield Energy became the sole appointed consultant on the framework. So who are Dukefield Energy? For those who don't know, we are a full service consultancy. We will look after you right from the very beginning, offer you lots of free advice and support. Then we will look at the tendering options, go through everything that's going on in the market and look at the right time for you to do your procurement. Through there's no heavy sales technique or anything. It's completely up to you if you use our services and the suppliers on our multi-supplier framework. If you do, you then get given a account manager here at Dukefield Energy, and then they will look after you through the whole length of the contract, doing all your bill validation, doing all your query management, looking after you with any issues and bits and pieces for you. We have over 20 years of education sector experience and understand the energy issues faced by the education establishments. We are a safe pair of hands and a trusted partner for procuring gas and electricity contracts, and we delivered CPC members savings of over £3.5 million collectively on gas and electricity contracts over the last 3 years. So on to the energy markets. It has been an incredibly interesting time over the last 18 months and very, very volatile. We are starting to see a much better outlook on things. Things are getting back down to some sort of normality. Now, they are nowhere near where they used to be, but we are a lot less volatile and prices are looking a lot more reasonable than, say, this time last year. So why are prices dropping and what's going on? We've had a very mild winter. EU gas demand has fallen by over 60% this winter, and it's all due to sort of mild temperatures. Also, because of the extremely high prices that we've seen in the market, people have reduced their consumption. They've used a lot less, and that has really had a knock-on effect. It means our storage facilities here in the UK are looking much more full compared to other years. So we're at least 30% more full at the moment, above their 5-year average, and that means this summer we're going to be injecting a lot less LNG and gas into our storage facilities this summer. That has a knock-on effect on prices because we don't have to fill the storage facilities up as much as possible. There has been a new government legislation where at the beginning of the winter months, which is the 1st of October, that our storage facilities for next winter need to be 100% full. But because we've still got so much more gas still in storage, we don't need to fill it up anywhere near as much as we have done. China's economy has halted, and that's mainly due to COVID over the last few years. China take a lot of energy shipments from around the world, and that has fallen by at least 20% last year. It's purely because the manufacturing plants, engineering plants weren't operational at all, which meant there was a huge surplus of energy shipments, which the UK, about pulling away from Europe and then Russia and the reliance on gas there, we've used those energy shipments and bought them at a really good price to inject into our network. Again, it's helped prices since Christmas drop, which has been really good. Strong winds as well. It's a very short-term factor. It's like an immediate factor, but the wind generation here in the UK has been up 30% year on year. It means that in a given day that we're able to draw a lot more electricity from wind generation from the North Sea and all the different turbines that we've now got in the UK. And we're really putting a lot of effort here in the UK to increase that wind generation, which is good news. We've also seen this week that the UK and the Netherlands have approved a cross-border interconnector. It's going to be Europe's largest cross-border interconnector between us and the Netherlands. And it means that either the UK or Netherlands at any point in time, if they need help with extra electricity, we're able to switch the electricity to either export from the UK or import from the Netherlands. It's a really good deal for both the UK and the Netherlands, and it's having a massive effect on longer term contracts into the future because the prices are starting to react to that really good news. So it has been really good news most of this year. Since Christmas, it's really dropped down and come down to a sensible level compared to where we were at any point last year. It's also become a lot less volatile. Just to talk about contracts and bits and pieces, without any added pressure, anybody with contracts now for this year, the rest of the year, now's the time just to start looking. Don't leave it to the last minute. There's no huge urgency, but the most important thing is you just start to engage. If you want our help, support, or any guidance at all, here and our account managers, we're here to help. What we don't want to do is see anything that happened last year where people sort of left it right towards the start of their contracts, and then suddenly found that there was another issue with Russia and Ukraine, and prices then spiked, particularly just at the end of last summer. As you'll see here from the graph, there's a large spike. Prices then rose dramatically, and people there were left with nowhere to go. The most important thing is you just get in contact in plenty of time. We can chat through all the options with you and then start to build a bit of a strategy. That's the most important thing. Secondly, it's about length of contract. We are seeing prices drop, which is great news. Those prices are dropping off. However, it's still dropping. So I hear lots of stories from out there in the market that people should be signing 4 or 5 year deals and bits and pieces, and that shouldn't be the case at all. Prices, although they're looking much better now, are still a lot higher. So just to give you an idea, a fully fixed gas price right now, we're sort of seeing around 6p. Everybody's used to around 2p, and the highs of last year were around 18p. So we're not anywhere near the highs that we saw last year, those 18p. If we're around the sort of 5 and 6p right now, there's still some movement in the market to drop down. So why anybody right now would sign a long-term 3 to 5 year deal, it's not good. What I would certainly do is look at our customers. What we've been advising is look at, doing a 12-month contract, do it fully fixed if that's the way you want to go, and look at that. It means you can then go back out into the market again fairly shortly, within 6 months of that contract, and then we can look at extending those contracts further and taking advantage of a dropping market. It also means if there is any spikes, if you've done a 12-month contract, you're nice and protected as well. But no one should be looking at sort of 3 to 5 years. If you're looking at that, you won't take advantage of this lovely dropping market that we're starting to see at the moment. If anybody's got any questions around that or needs our support, please, our contact details are going to be at the end of this webinar, and we're more than happy to take things offline and chat things through with people. So next on the agenda, I just want to touch very quickly on the government price cap scheme. For those that don't know, we had a price cap and a help scheme from the government from the 1st of October last year, 2022, because prices were so high. It depended on when you signed your contract, but there was a rather large discount there for you to take advantage that would be automatically applied via the supplier that you're with. Now, between the 1st of October and the 31st of March this year, the scheme was very good and you could get a maximum discount of a really good price. The government have had lots of internal discussions and they wanted to continue the scheme. So they've come up with something which is almost exactly the same, and it's going to run from the 1st of April, so this month, right through to the 31st of March 2024. Now, here's the interesting bit. The price and the discount you get has dramatically reduced. So it feels a little bit like the government want to do something, but they can't afford to continue doing what they're doing. So just to give you a very quick overview, the maximum discount you could have got in the last 6 months for your electricity was 34.5p. So that's quite a big chunk at the moment. That was really helping people out. However, now the government scheme is still continuing, but that's going to be reduced to the maximum discount you could get from 1.96p. So a huge decrease from 34p to just under 2p. Similarly, gas, saying you could have got 9.1p discount between October and end of March this year, and now It's now going from the 1st of April, it's going to 0.69 pence discount, and that's the maximum depending on when you signed. There is a lovely government spreadsheet that depends on when you signed your contract, shows what you can get as a discount. And again, if anybody wants any questions about this, please get in touch. More than happy just to talk people through it, and you should be receiving discounts from your supplier. Anybody that signed contracts from the 1st of December 2021 is eligible for this. So that's a little bit about that. It's just to give people a little bit of a warning that if you suddenly see a discount reducing from the 1st of April, this is the reason why. The scheme has changed slightly and the maximum discounts have been reduced dramatically. Again, any questions, please get in contact with us and we're more than happy to help. Very quickly, I just want to talk about our new framework here at Dukefield Energy. Ever since I've joined Dukefield Energy over the last 2 years, we've been working very, very hard on a brand new shiny framework. We wanted this to be the best ever. And we've always done gas, power and water contracts through a multi-supplier framework. And we really believe that's the right route to go down. Having a multi-supplier frameworks across lots of different lots, it means that there's competition rather than having a single basket deal and people choosing to go into that. If you've got a single supplier, there's a chance that they could basically just change the price at any point. They can make up that price and there's no competition. If that supplier has been awarded that framework, there's no competition on it. It means that they can effectively choose the price there. Whereas with our framework, it's multi-supplier on there. It means that when we tender your services for gas, for power, for water, it means that we're going out to all the suppliers on the framework and they have to give us the very best possible price because they want to win your business and they want to do that. So it gives that element of competition there. As we've always done, we've always got lots 1, 2 and 3, gas, power and water. Nothing's changing on those at all. We've just got multi-supplier on there and we are going through those exactly in the same way we've done. However, the change here in the UK, things are going much more green. There's going to be a lot of targets for net zero and going carbon neutral and everything there. So we've decided to put another additional lots onto our framework to allow all our members and customers added a compliant route to market for these bits of information, which will really help education establishments. So lot 4, energy efficient solutions. So this is things like LED lighting. LED lighting is a real quick win for people. It's quite low hanging fruit, I would suggest, in the sort of carbon neutral. It's relatively inexpensive. It's pretty cheap. So it also has a dramatic effect on your electricity usage. LED lighting is around 60% more efficient than normal strip lighting. So we've got a number of suppliers on lot 4 that can all offer energy efficient solutions, LED lighting being one of them. On lot 5, it's on-site generation, it's solar photovoltaics, so solar panels. There's a couple of options here, again, multi-suppliers on here, but if people are looking at trying to get grants and other bits and pieces for solar, we have the right suppliers for this. And you can get solar panels and that can either subsidize what you use, so effectively you are using electricity from the sun and using it to subsidize how much you actually use at your site, or what you actually generate from the sun you could then potentially sell back to the grid and actually make money on that. So you can either use it to subsidize what you're already using, or you can use the electricity that you generate and sell it back to the grid to actually fund other projects. Next one, on-site generation, heat pumps. You can have ground source, air source heat pumps, lots of different. Now these bits of kit are very, very good for reducing your carbon and that sort of net zero goal. They are great bits of kit, and we've got some really good suppliers on this one as well. So again, if anybody is looking at going down those routes, you know, whether it's Salix funding those bits and pieces, these are the things that can make a dramatic difference in your journey to net zero. And then on lot 7, we've got supply of metering services and building energy management software. Metering services like the MOP, the DA and the DC. We've got some great suppliers on that, but also building energy management software. So you may do a lot of changes on your sites and to your portfolios. You might put a lot of LED lighting in, you might do a lot of solar panels and bits and pieces. Building energy management software will then tie everything up together. It'll be a really good bit of kit that you control. It will allow you to turn certain buildings off during this, during weekends when they're not in use, during school holidays, all those bits and pieces. So it's about tying everything together and ensuring that you're doing the right thing and saving as much electricity and utilities as possible. So we've worked really hard on this framework. It is now live. Again, anybody has any questions or wants to talk about that, please get in contact and we can help you out. Very quickly, just want to touch on our portal. We've been working very hard with this with our third-party partner Systems Link. It offers them the most important thing for a lot of our customers is around about data. It's about keeping an eye on things, looking after it, making sure that you've got enough data there. It's for your reporting and that journey to net zero. It's all about having the data to your fingertips. We get this all through your bills, through your suppliers. We put it into the system and you're able to track all this and you're able to log on and have a look. We can calibrate this to different reports to exactly what you need, whether it's things like heat maps to show where you're using the most amount of electricity between what hours. It can compare year on year, month on month, building to building. There's lots of things that we can do. So our facility to all our customers, and we make sure you have easy access to this if you are one of our customers. Any current customers who are with us, we're just rolling this out at the moment. So please, again, if you're interested in this, get in contact and we'll start to ensure you've got access to this. So anybody has any questions at all, please just put them in the chat. I'll go through them and I'll stop sharing this and we can go through anything at all. Just before that though, here is our telephone number and our email address. Again, please get in contact, note them down, and we will be in contact with you just to help. So I will just give you a couple of seconds to note those down. We will share this again, and we're recording this webinar to put out there to people, just so we've got that. So if anybody needs any of that, but I'm going to stop sharing now and I'll be able to have a look and see. Has anyone got any questions? Let's have a look. There's nothing in the question and answering session yet. Let me just have a quick look in the chat just to double check. Louise, yes, yes. We will get a link set up and then we'll send it out to everyone. So yes, everyone can have a link to it to send out to anybody else that needs it for directors and other people. Not a problem at all. Teresa, do you have any dates for rolling out the portal? It's testing at the moment. It is live with us. If you are a current customer, we can obviously get you rolled out onto that straight away, no issues. If you are a customer, a potential customer, then obviously once your account goes live and everything with suppliers, we are able to go through all that. We'd be covering flexible purchasing. Dawn, flexible purchasing, yes, we can. We've got a number of customers on flexible purchasing. We can do flexible. There's lots and lots of different options with our suppliers. It depends on your sort of risk strategy and everything else that we can talk about there. More than happy to go through it in a little bit more detail with you directly, Dawn, if you like. It depends on when your contracts are up, how much you use, whether you want it flexible on a monthly basis. We can do seasonally, we can do annually, lots of options there for you. So again, we've got great flexible options for you as well. Louise, on your portal, could you bring across our historic data from someone else? Yes. Short answer. It depends on who you're with. What we have to do is, if you were to come across to us, once you're set up, we'll obviously, any new billing, any new data, we'll get that automatically and we'll put that into the portal. Old data, more than happy to add it in there for you. It will take a bit of time. We basically just have to, we'll use the letter of authority, we get hold of your previous supplier, we can get that and then add it in there for you. It may take a bit of time, but again, you can then use that for you. It'll be on a case by case basis, basically. Let's have a look. Are we as a sector eligible for ETII? Yeah, yes. I've been trying to find this out. It was obviously launched yesterday. So for those that don't know, the ETII, I think it's 2. It's for energy, for industries that are energy intensive. And the government have produced a scheme to say it's gone live yesterday and that you can apply to it. Now, in previous and everything that I've read before, education sector isn't eligible for it. It tends to be the really big manufacturing, heavy, intensive energy usage industries. So, yeah, manufacturing plants, engineering plants, that sort of thing. There is a government website. It hasn't given much detail away about exactly who is eligible for it. Effectively, there's a link and you have to put in certain codes and bits and pieces and company registration numbers and bits, and at the end of it, it spits it out to say whether you're eligible or not for it. If you want us to have a bit of a look in more detail, Stuart, we're more than happy to do that for you. I personally don't think even big universities aren't going to be eligible for it. Effectively, what it is it's an increased discount from the government price cap scheme. It gives you a little bit more money back, but it tends to be for the really, really heavy intensive energy users. Again, if you think you might be, we're going to do a lot of research, and we'll probably put a bit of a blog post and something out in our weekly market update at the end of this week about where to go and how to support you and look at it. But from what I've seen on the outset, I don't think the education sector is going to be eligible. I don't think we use enough currently at the moment, is the short answer. Let's have a look. Louise, thank you, as we've been with the broker for 8 years. Right. Yeah, not a problem. It wouldn't be so much the broker. I think if we're just talking about your historic data, what we'd effectively have to do is have a link between what suppliers and effectively we can go to your previous suppliers and get the data from them. All of them should have kept it all. It's not a problem. Effectively, they'll send the data across and then we can upload it via electronic link for you. So yeah, we can definitely do that, Louise. If you've got any more questions on other bits and pieces, Louise, about it, and you just want some advice from us and everything else, by all means, just get in contact and more than happy to help out. Well, we've got a few more type in. Just check the Q&A as well. Just hold by for a second. I can see a couple of people typing. Teresa, how can we get? What we do is we'll get you information, Teresa. We will go to the suppliers on the building management software, and effectively we can have a look at it for you, depending on what you want and everything else there. It's offered to everyone. Our new framework is open to absolutely everyone. Anybody in the education needs a compliant route to market. I think the most important thing, just the additional lots, so lots 4, 5, 6, and 7. What we really wanted to do was ensure that there is a compliant route to market for you in the public sector, to ensure that we've done all the due diligence with the suppliers on there. We've done all the sort of verifications and vetting them and ensure that they are the right type of supplier for you. And we've now got some really, really good suppliers on all those additional lots from 4 to 7. So we have on building energy management software, we've got some good suppliers on there. We can put you in touch. We can help you with that, and then look. So yes, by all means, if it's something you're looking at, whether it's solar panels or anything else like that at all, just drop us a line and we obviously can put you in touch and we can get the ball rolling for that. Not a problem at all. So, Stephen, yeah, how do we achieve supply discounts? Is it through scale of spending? Partly. That is a big thing for what we call basket deals. Some other competitors have basket deals out there where they sort of lump everybody together and use that volume to get the best possible price. We do things slightly differently here. What we want to do is give you choice. So we vet all the suppliers on the framework very, very heavily, ensure that they're not going anywhere, ensure they're acting in the right best interest for our customers, and actually their prices are very, very cheap. We then treat every customer as an individual and ensure that the strategy and everything for them is the best one. Now, when we go to tender and we tender to suppliers, they have to give us the best possible price because they all want to be the cheapest. So it drives down price rather than have a single supplier on the framework. Having multi-suppliers on that framework, so we go out to a number of gas suppliers or a number of electricity suppliers, it involves them producing the very best possible price. That's the way we get the best possible spending. We've done a lot of benchmarking against lots of other frameworks and suppliers and everything else, and we are right there in terms of price. We have no issue with people using us, wanting to use our services, and if they go to another GPR, another broker, another consultancy as well, we say that, you know, by all means, you know, cross-check both of us. The only thing we ask is just make sure that we get prices on the same day and we're comparing apples with apples, so everybody's in the same loop. That way you can check the prices. We are just in the process with our new framework of really trying to get it on the Department for Education to try and get it accredited. Our last one was this. We show new reason this framework is even better than the previous one. Due to the Department for Education, we would be accredited based upon value for money, service, and all the good things that we've got on there as well. We're just in the process of doing that, and obviously we will shout about it as much as we can as soon as we're accredited, and I don't see any reason why not. So that's that. Has anybody got any other questions at all? If not, by all means, or if you just want to take it offline, if people want to just drop us a line, by all means, we can help and support people if they want to just get in contact with us directly. It's not an issue at all. I think that might be it. I can't see anything else. I'll just double check the question before I go. There's nothing in there. Okay. Again, right. So thank you very much for everybody's time. Again, by all means, please get in contact. You need any help and support, we'll make the recording available as soon as we can. And if anybody needs anything at all, just let me know. Thank you very much. Take care.